Diablo Apox. Leap of Faith again by Anduin Vildanflo, and Medivh's gonna be able to finish him off. 3 kills, a triple for BFM. And now Diablo being surrounded. Fade falling to 25% health. Condemn, and Diablo's down. That might be the actual play of the game. They find another kill.
Apocalypse coming out though. Red team. Oh my god! Red team almost got him.
Axon jumping over to get some kills.
Oh, Ragnarok getting the concussion mine, knocking him out into the fray. Oh, the definition of unlucky.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome in to the NGS Game of the Week here in the Storm Division. Week number 6 of the Storm Division. We got ReGen versus Velocity. I'm joined, as always, usually with Slexia, but Stoic filling in this evening, who does a great job on our pregame show. Hopefully you guys caught that earlier. But Stoic, how are you doing right now?
Good. I'm excited to watch... Usually I have to catch the VOD, so I'm excited to see this great game live.
Some live matches for you tonight. That's awesome. We do have a couple of players missing from our lobby right now, so I mentioned that we might have some time to go back over our pregame show and what we were able to talk about there. So we're going to quickly run through everything for you now. First up, we took a look at the 3-2-3 weekly breakdown from DB Smiley, where ReGen and Velocity both sit currently in the C tier, battling for position, trying to maybe work their way up into the top half of this division. A win tonight would help set up both of these teams. And then looking at our current standings, ReGen entering tonight's matchup in 5th place, map record of 10-11, 2 match wins on the season. Velocity yet to play their week number 5 match that'll take place this Saturday. They enter tonight's matchup with a map record of 5-10, with just 1 match win this season. Now heading over to our hero picks, we look at the tanks: Garrosh, ETC, Diablo. Honorable mention perhaps to a Muradin, a Johanna. We might end up seeing those two as well. But we're expecting the Garrosh and ETC, especially out of Hot Cho from ReGen, which we've gotten to highlight over the past 2 weeks as well here on the Game of the Week. Next up is the healer position, where we highlighted Malfurion, Stukov, Brightwing, and Brightwing has been a highlight pick again for ReGen, played by Valimar very well last week up against Team Alexander, where they went all the way to game number 5 here in the Game of the Week, a nail-biter. So we're expecting a lot of the Fairy Dragon perhaps tonight out of RG. Next up, the solo lane has looked familiar over the past few weeks. Yrel, Blaze, and Leoric still dominate the Storm Division meta right now, with Yrel really being that one prioritized pick. If you get her, you have a good shot at winning the map. She's been so good here in the Storm Div, so we're expecting to see a lot of that big Mace Draenei tonight. Honorable mention, of course, goes out to D.Va. We haven't seen too much D.Va play out of either of these teams, but perhaps tonight is the night we finally get to see her break loose. And I mentioned I would love to see some Gazlo. We got him last week, and getting him again here would be fantastic. And last up, Alex, you were asking about the DPS role, where we highlighted Li Ming, Raynor, and Junkrat. And yes, you wanted mages specifically. We do believe there could be some Li Ming tonight. The other mage, obviously, that Chromie, I think she'll have a lot of play. Usually a ban, but if she makes it through, likely going to see a very quick pick at the top half of the draft. But Li Ming, for sure, we think you're going to get to see her. Stoic, I talked through a lot of stuff there. I basically did the pregame show without you. But anything you want to mention about any of that right now?
Yeah, you touched on Yrel, and I think it's interesting. Yrel has a almost 70% popularity, meaning that in 70% of games she's either picked or banned, with a 63% win rate, which is extremely high. I mean, Yrel is definitely a power pick, and the teams know that, and she shows up in almost every single series.
Yeah, a lot of Yrel. The other hero I actually forgot to mention there when we were looking at the healers is Ana. Last week, she drew a ban in all 5 maps from Team Alexander. No shot to be picked. So really, that's the reason she's left off that list. But truthfully, she sits atop the entire list of all the healers. If either team has access into Ana tonight, you can really expect them to put priority there. But due to a lot of bans, we're not necessarily expecting that to happen. Looks like we're getting all of our players here. So before we get going into map number 1, it's time to take a look over at the maps for tonight. Banned away by ReGen were Dragonshire and Braxis Holdout. And the bans here from Velocity will be Alterac Pass and Battlefield of Eternity. And map number 1, as chosen by Velocity, will be Tomb of the Spider Queen, Stoic.
Yeah, it's an excellent map here to start our series. We're going to see teams put a heavy priority onto the wave clear. They can not only that so that they can collect those gems, but also having wave clear priority gives them access to turn those gems in uncontested, and look for that snowball or that ever desired double turn in.
Looks like our captains are ready to go here for game number 1, so I think we'll be underway. And there we go. Tomb of the Spider Queen, draft number 1, about to begin. Stoic, you just mentioned wave clear is going to become a priority. We talked also about the tank roll, right? Where we think it might be a good decision for Velocity to try to target ban out Hot Cho's, Garrosh, and ETC. That might end up putting a bit more priority here in game 1 onto the Johanna, where this is honestly her best map to be played on.
Yeah, I think so too. I think Johanna's great because she can either be extremely protective when the team is trying to turn in. She has good vision control as well as gating, but also she's pretty good at clearing waves as a tank, and so she definitely has a good chance of showing up tonight. Top bans across Storm Division, things like Chromie, Ana, Garrosh, all could work on Tomb of the Spider Queen. We'll see if one of those top 3 bans makes it away. D.Va.
Ooh, okay. So maybe we will end up seeing D.Va tonight, already drawing the first ban of the evening. A hero I think we're going to end up seeing here, because I don't think it's going to draw a ban, is that Junkrat. We highlighted as one of our priority DPS positions tonight. Really good here. Actually, he's going to get a ban right here, right now. So Murda at least onto something, but it won't actually be a Junkrat we get to see.
Yeah, that is interesting there. Mr. Cleese obviously not wanting to take the Junkrat here, or Junkrat has been rising to that top, that first half of draft pick, and so maybe they're just worried about giving a first pick Junkrat away.
I'm expecting Chromie ban and Ana ban. Ooh, it's Yrel. So one of those two, Chromie or Ana, is guaranteed to make it through, with Yrel being taken away number 2 there by ReGen. Target banning the solo lane here on Tomb of the Spider Queen. Both D.Va and Yrel banned out.
Yeah, I think it makes sense. Nintori, extremely capable solo lane player here, could play the Yrel or the D.Va well. There's the Chromie ban.
So this is Ana first pick, right?
It does seem like that it would be an Ana first lock. Other opportunities would be that ETC, if it's a high priority, or the Garrosh. But both of those tanks are able to be countered, so maybe they will hold off. It is the snap Ana, not actually a snap. Actually, they took some time to think about that one.
They were thinking about it. It's going to leave open Tracer for Noah, one of his favorites, and Caesar Salad going to get a great support to pair in with the Tracer. It's going to be Malfurion.
Yeah, it's a good combo. The two of those, I actually really like that there. Malfurion going to be able to get the regrowth to help Tracer do her little thing that she does.
Yeah, so he'll be able to keep her healed up from a distance. There's going to be the pick onto Diablo for Hot Cho, which this is a bit of a curveball for Hot Cho. He's not going with the ETC or the Garrosh, which were both available in this spot. Instead, it's the big Demon Lord himself, Diablo.
Yeah, and there's that Raynor. Such an interesting DPS pick. I think it's good into Tracer, and just good all around. Raynor seems such a high priority. A year ago, 2 years ago, it would have been Vala that's that all-around damage player, but she's really just never. She just doesn't have the same impact in games that Raynor seems to.
It's going to be a Gazlo ban here. This is the map we saw Gazlo on last week, played by Team Alexander, but Velocity going to take the Green Goblin out this time. There's going to be the ban onto Garrosh from ReGen. Probably going to end up putting Velocity onto the ETC here, or the Johanna, which are both still available. I think it's got to be one of those two. Maybe the Johanna makes more sense because they're going to need the additional wave clear because they drafted a Tracer.
Yeah, and Malfurion, who does not bring much wave clear to the tank roll. But that being said, the ReGen also doesn't have a ton of wave clear. Diablo's a little bit slow on that. Ana has none. There's the Johanna. Ooh, the Leoric snipe. Porky's favorite will not be played by Porky tonight.
Yeah, I think the Leoric pick for Nintori makes a lot of sense. During the pregame, we talked about how Leoric's become the utility solo laner up against the Diablos here in the Storm Division. That's exactly what we're getting here in game number 1. He's going to be able to drain Hope, take away percentage damage on the Diablo, which means he doesn't live quite as long. They're going to need something else to pair in with that. I wouldn't be surprised if we see the Tychus with their final pick. Here we go, Nazeebo and Blaze. Nazeebo! It's a good map for Nazeebo, I guess, but Nazeebo, is this his first pick in Storm Div?
It's got to be close to it. The Blaze makes a lot more sense to me than Nazeebo. Nazeebo here, with the lots of the double soak rotation, they will be able to get Nazeebo stacked well before level 20. But before that moment, it's going to put them a little bit, like both Diablo and Nazeebo both take some ramp time. Whereas, you know, Tracer has access to her ultimate right off the bat. Johanna has a lot of tools. So does Kael'thas right off the bat. I mean, I think that
this Kael'thas pick, though, Stoic, is simply to pair in with the Johanna for the wave clear. That's all they need. They just need the Johanna, the Kael'thas. They're good to go. It's going to allow Tracer to move around, do her thing. And Alex, you're already getting a couple good mage players here, right? You get the Kael'thas, and if you want to consider Nazeebo a mage, have some fun. Time to ask you guys at home, though, who will win game 1? Will it be ReGen or Velocity? Head on over to chat right now. Up at the top, select the team you want to win and hit submit. Stoic, what are your thoughts here after the game number 1 draft?
I think Velocity takes this one. This is not even a Johanna rule. I think that they have a strong draft. They have the wave clear tools, and their comp scales throughout. I mean, they have strong early game tools all the way into Buried Alive with Leoric at level 20. I think that they're going to scale more sustainably from the early to the late game, and I think Velocity takes this game 1.
I like the Blaze pick. It's going to give ReGen an option to deal with that Pulse Bomb from Tracer. You have the bunker to hop inside. They also go with a Nazeebo, which, when you think about it, he has access to an Ice Block, which is going to allow him to prevent some damage through that Pulse Bomb as well. You know, I said ReGen 3-0 during the pregame. I can't change my mind now. I think ReGen takes game number 1. Here we go, though. Tomb of the Spider Queen over here on the left-hand side. We got TT Porky, the captain, on Blaze. There's Valimar on the Ana. Pit Kid going to play the Nazeebo, Centurion on Raynor, and Hacho on the Diablo. Give it up for ReGen.
And on the red team, we have Chuggy on Johanna, Noah playing Tracer, Caesar Salad on Malfurion, Nintori playing Leoric, and Mysticles on Kael'thas. It is Team Velocity.
Mysticles on the Kael'thas. Do we have a pick here? Yeah, it will be the Mana Addict, of course. Exterminator for Raynor, and here for Nazeebo, it'll be Thing of the Deep to increase that attack range on those basic abilities for Nazeebo. Keep himself out of range a bit and hopefully not be dying too much too early. I did pick them to win this game number 1.
Diablo dropping to half health here as that Spectral Leech is on him. The bomb has been spread from Diablo 2. A lot more squishy here in this early first engagement.
A little bit of a network issue there, I think. Am I dropping frames right now? Are you guys okay? Can you hear me?
Stoic can hear you.
Okay.
Now we're doing a little bit of bullying on the bottom. The teams are rotating now as Diablo finds a flip onto Chuggy, but they will walk away quickly. And fast clear on this wave. Red team definitely has got the wave clear priority here as they're moving up to this top wave.
Let me ask that you keep casting here for a second. Stoic, I'm going to see if I can fix something.
Sounds good.
What do you say? Ready
Red team with a slight lead on the wave clear. Down 1 gem. They lost 1 somewhere here. Tracer has rotated, meanwhile, to get that bottom siege camp. Trying to sneak that away. Is Raynor and Nazeebo working on the Bruiser for the blue team. Meanwhile, Hacho trying to stack those souls, currently at 13. As he and Nazeebo are making a very mana-hungry way of clearing these waves, catching them at the wall, but Nazeebo grabbing those stacks. Also noting stacks here, Blaze picking up the new habits, not opting for that basic attack wave clear talent, looking for that unstoppable. Ooh, Raynor caught in a root, lots of damage coming down, pushed out of position, the Flame Strike is good, as is the Living Bomb. Centurion will fall. First blood. going over to Velocity.
All right, I think I stabilized here. We had some sort of frame rate issue, network connection issue on my end. I don't know really what the issue was there. I have no idea. Last week was fine. This week, apparently, it's getting back to business, and that's not fun. So hopefully it's going to stay stable for the rest of the night, and we'll continue this game one. Good first blood there from Velocity, finding that kill onto the Rainer, and I think Kael'thas got credited. Yes, he did. First kill of the game belongs to Mysticles. There's a pulse bomb and a root onto Diablo. You can see those enstrangling roots from Malfurion. Pretty strong, but Hacho survives.
And the rotation here is great. I mean, Kael'thas is halfway done with his level 1 quest with 10 globes already. Doing a great job stacking that. Oh, Centurion here in a little bit of a rough spot. Again, dropping with the Flame Strike is going to be able to scoot away, keeping out of that condemn range from Johanna.
Chuggy holding on to 23 gems right now, as I believe they are going to be able to get this first turn of the game. Our Velocity, they have a nice lead currently. Look at this, 4 gems. Oh, actually, ReGen catching up right as I'm saying that. Now trying to turn to the bottom half of this map where they see Noah walking around with 3 gems on hand. Diablo's going to charge in, but I don't think there's a follow-up here. There's the recall, and Noah's right back out. Not going to try to chase down the Diablo. Gets a pulse bomb out and sends Hot Show to about 50% health. Here comes the rest of the team. Chuggy coming with that blind. A 3-man condemned. Now the roots down by Caesar Salad, trying to keep Hot Show there, but Diablo able to just walk away. This bottom lane, I didn't even realize. The wall's already down here with the help of that siege camp. Great efforts from Velocity early in this one, in this bottom lane.
Yeah, without that Adrenal Stimpack, Blaze's early game wave clear is going to suffer a little bit, and good job taking advantage of that was Tracer. Early game, and meanwhile, Tracer's going to find the damage necessary to pick off Ana, who's a little bit split from her team.
Yeah, beautiful job. The full combo of heroes coming in, and now Noah looking for even more. Centurion down to 195 health. They're not going to find the finish. And Tori trying to turn in 22 gems and does. Just 2 more needed here for Velocity, as Pit Kid trying to keep rotating with this Nazebo, already at 79 stacks. This is the game plan for ReGen. Make it to level 20, hold on as long as you can. This Nazebo is going to be stacked up playing in the 4-man here on Tomb of the Spider Queen.
Yeah, it's impressive. He's almost halfway done. You know, as we're looking at this though, I really got to shout out here again, Noah, on this Tracer, a common hero. The game sense is incredible. Knowing exactly when, how long that they can shoot Diablo before Shadow Charge comes back up to stay safe. I mean, it's great gameplay to find all of this free damage.
Well, I'll tell you what will really hurt ReGen here is if Porky drops these 19 gems. He's going to have to be careful. 5 heroes here in this bottom lane. As they try to charge in onto Noah, they get the finish onto Tracer. Centurion's going to follow a 1-for-1 trade. Now it's Blaze very low, has that Pyromania being used already, still surviving through this as the fort starting to target onto Malfurion. Diablo with the charge and the flip. Now the body blocks on the Caesar Salad. A Jet Propulsion's going to land as well. Caesar Salad still hanging on though. These Moonfires keeping him up for a bit, but will finally fall. It ends up being a double kill for ReGen, a 2-for-1 there in the exchange.
And during all of this, Nazebo found himself another 20 stacks as he's been getting this top and middle web weavers. Excellent skirmish. Is this? They will find the bottom fort, but this will be cleared at the keep wall on the bottom.
Honestly, probably worked out for ReGen there. They got a couple of kills. Oh no, as I say that, they lose Hot Cho, and in the process, 20 gems hit the turf. They're going to be basically stood right on top of. No one from ReGen can regain those, and that's also the Soul Stone reset for Big D.
Level 10 about to hit for Velocity. They're looking to grab this middle fort wall to set up and slow down the turn-in for ReGen.
Level 10 is just around the corner for both teams, but ReGen's very far behind in total gems this game. If you consider the turn-in that's already happened, plus the 44 on hand for Velocity, that's a lot of gems. ReGen just totaling up to 62. So it's almost a 50 difference right now, 100 to about, well, now it's up to 60, but you get my point. Velocity is well ahead in gathering gems so far because of these couple deaths that have come out.
Entomb was used mid lane, did not find any targets here. Johanna steps up looking for something. She's gone for Falling Sword here, so they're looking to be able to dive that on in the backline. Tracer links out again. Porky finds the frame perfect stun on her recall, and Rainer finds the finishing blow.
Looks like we may have dropped more frames, unfortunately. Man, I wish I could fix what's going on. I'll see if I can do anything about it before we head into game number 2. They are trying to turn in some gems here. Our ReGen. Pit Kid holding on to 27. Looks pretty wide open to turn in. Now TT Porky looking as well. Hot Show trying to keep everyone here in the mid lane. And will be able to first turn into the game now for ReGen.
Yeah, red team taking an interesting duel there as ReGen just got a free turn with uncontested in his top lane. Diablo jumps in, gets stopped. Oh, Tracer gets in there, gets all that damage, finds that melee as Johanna recognizes the opportunity to jump onto Ana as she is trapped in the entomb and rooted and will again fall to that Tracer.
Oh, great entomb there from Nintori, making sure Ana could not get away. Good sidesteps by Centurion, going to keep Raynor alive here at mid. This will be a ReGen Webweaver phase, going to be easily cleared out this time by Velocity because of those deaths. Top lane going to be handled by Leoric, mid lane being taken care of by the 4-man, and bottom lane really the only lane that has any chance of doing much of anything. Going to get aided in by Raynor and his Hyperion. Porky going to hold the vent, and now might be in a bit of trouble. A couple heroes nearby just wanting to escort this Raynor out, mounting up a Centurion, and they will be just fine. Now maybe finding a fight here by the Egg Spawner.
Yeah, oh man. You know what? The sleep finds 2. APOC combo goes. Oh, Diablo rooted by Malfurion at the last possible second. There goes the Twilight Dream to slow this engage down. Johanna jumps in though, Falling Sword into the back line. She's going to be body blocked by Blaze here and the Nazebo wall. Diablo finds the charge and the flip. Ana puts her to sleep and Blaze finds the stun.
Big stun by Blaze that time. Gonna take care of Johanna, but the rest of the team gets away and Tracer able to nab away those gems before they disappear on the map. Beautifully done by Noah, making sure that Velocity has enough for this next turn in. They just got to find Nintori and Noah room towards these egg spawners, and they'll be good to go with their second Webweaver phase, as ReGen's still really far behind in total gem count. Gonna get what they have on hand, in Porky's hands actually, in the bank. Maybe look for a fight here in the bottom lane. Level 13 is just around the corner for both teams.
So, while structure advantage goes to Velocity here, this Nazebo has 155 stacks currently. Absolutely killing it, killing it. By the time they hit level 20, this Nazebo should have in the area of 220 to 240 stacks.
Maybe even more than that. I mean, you only need, what, 175, right? So, like, he's a couple waves away from making that happen. Just making sure he has a piece of every single wave. You can see he just uses that Thing of the Deep, throws some stuff in from a distance, and that's basically all you need.
Yeah. I mean, ReGen's got to be worried. If this game goes much past level 20, that Nazebo is going to be an absolute menace to deal with.
All right, Leoric in this bottom lane has the Entomb right now, but only the Blaze nearby, doesn't have his own team. He has 33 gems on hand in Tori right now, but as we mentioned, Leoric, one of the safest solo laners in the game because of that Wraith Walk. Anytime he's under pressure, he can just kind of nope right out. ReGen's going to try to play some defense around mid, but they might want to start thinking about the top lane. Tracer's up here on the fort, and they have a Webweaver dropping in the lane right now. I think this top fort's going to go down no matter what they try to do here.
Yeah, and I think that both teams recognizing that, they're going to move on here and put this priority in the mid to see if they can't push off ReGen to not give this middle fort for free. Although it looks like it's going to go down here. A little bit too much aggression coming out of this red team for ReGen to take. Blaze clearing out bottom, Raynor still up top. Oh, top didn't fall. So it looks like the Velocity is going to move on to make sure they confirm that top fort.
Well, top fort survives, but oh boy, Centurion now entombed in. Here comes that big falling sword. Trying to survive through with the help of Ana is Centurion, and Will actually takes out the Tracer. And now ReGen looking for a bit more blood here in this top lane. Webweaver at mid still alive as Hacho charges in, finds Kael'thas. There's the Gladiator's Medallion from Mysticles, and now Hacho has to back up. Good usage there, that time by Kael'thas.
Man, Hacho, MVP of that engagement there. The APOC counter engage was on point, and then finds the Kael'thas twice here, sets it up. Kael'thas doesn't have his shield available, is dropping extremely low, and will fall to Raynor there.
A little bit of Living Bomb spread, but ReGen able to move around and make sure they don't end up dying at all. The kill onto Kael'thas is going to help them set up for their second turn into the game here. And still looking to find their first structures of the game. Bottom lane sitting on a thread. And there's a siege camp available. Looks like Centurion's going to head on down and try to get that going before the turn-in starts, and they will. Other end of the map, we do see a bruiser camp being held as long as possible here by Velocity. But this will be the second Webweaver phase of the game for ReGen, trying to keep their focus here in the bottom lane. Up top, though, look at Pit Kid.
Yeah,
He's locked in.
Trying to dodge everything he can, but you can't dodge the Entomb. Uses the ice block to try and give himself time to survive.
Oh my god. Does he make it out? Get in the bunker? He's in the bunker! He survives through the pulse bomb. Wow. Pit Kid's still up with 400 health.
That Soul Harvest was so perfect to give that extra little bit of health needed to survive. Zebo makes it out of that gank. Absolutely insane play.
But he's got no mana in this fight. He's going to get off 1 Q. That might be it. Hyperion comes down from ReGen as the bottom lane fort is likely about to fall any second now. That'll be their first structure of the game. Top lane fort, I don't think this one goes down. Even with Raynor trying to do all he can, it's very close. Maybe, oh, they do get it. Porky with the finish there.
Through all this Leoric here in the bottom, trying to work on this bottom Web Weaver and this Siege Camp.
Falling
like
sword onto Ana, trying to disrupt Valimar. Johanna will end up going down. Wow, ReGen turning these fights around here. 7-6 now in their favor. Let's pull up these level 16 talents. We haven't been able to take a look yet. Leoric going into the Mithril Mace this time, and at level 13, it's the Spectral Leech. Hello, hello, hello.
Interesting. Looking for that extra team fight damage and that percent-based. Huh. Wow. You know, a couple of these times, ReGen are spreading the bomb, but it almost looks like it's intentional here as they are saying, you know what, we can take this damage to step forward and make sure we're confirming that kill like we just saw in Johanna. I mean, I think this is, they're doing a great job here.
And finally, Justin will be able to go back to base, get some mana back, who was starved in that last fight, somehow survived. I can't believe it still. That was quite the impressive save there, bringing everyone up on the rotation to make sure Nazebo stayed alive through that Entomb and all that damage that was followed behind it.
Yeah, really, absolutely great play. This Nazebo here with so many stacks, 215 currently, still not even level 20 yet. Absolutely just preparing for that late game monstrosity.
This is exactly what ReGen wants, though. Being in a position like this, 14 minutes in, just a couple levels away from 20. Nazebo fully stacked, already at 224. If they can hang on to level 20, which it's looking likely, and this is going to be a completely different game for them. Here's the falling sword after the Entomb. Hacho still locked in, but gets in the bunker. ReGen's going to survive through all that damage once again from Velocity.
Yeah, their ability to counter engage is really so strong. They have the APOC to shut down any kind of aggression, and the bunker to keep the team safe. They've really figured out how to kind of turn this red comp back on themselves.
Now without any of their heroics, ReGen are gonna have to be a bit more careful here. They don't have their bunker. They, don't have their APOC. They don't even have Gary the Gargantuan right now from Nazebo. But they're gonna try to play some defense here around these egg spawners and prevent this next turn in from Velocity.
But, Nintori during all of that actually dropped in 54 gems by themselves. So they only need a few more. Centurion dropping quite low, but from Tracer, but Hacho finds the stun onto Tracer. Tracer, though, back in the fight. Johanna falling sword. There comes the combo. Once again, there's the Twilight Dream from Alfier. Diablo solo will end up falling. There's a Soul's Reset, though. Tracer looking for more blood here as Porky uses that dash away. Oh, Ana here in a little bit of trouble. Pops the Gladiator's Medallion. Johanna in full chase. Nintori Wraith walking to get closer. There's the bunker's been dropped. Valimar can't quite get in there. Oh.
Hyperion still 5 seconds away for Centurion. I don't think he's going to have it in this fight. Somehow Porky surviving, and now Hacho disrupting this backline. Tracer Pulse Bomb comes out. Look at Leoric. Leoric's going to fall down. 6 gems hit the turf, and ReGen somehow survives again in these engagements out of the APOC combo, landing onto Kel'Thas, but he pops his medallion. Mysticles once again on the money, but flipped over once more. 14 more gems will fall as Tracer cannot finish off any of these low health heroes. Look at the health bars on ReGen. Somehow they are not dead, and Noah could be in trouble here as ReGen is willing to fight this. Surprisingly so. I can't believe this.
ReGen is taking a page out of Team Alexander's book here. Grandma Valimar keeping all her babies alive right now.
Stoic
Excellent
look.
play.
It's level 20.
250 stacks, exactly. Nazebo the monster is coming for all your babies.
Oh,
baby.
My goodness. This Nazebo fully stacked up, ready to go. Of course, anything over 175 doesn't really mean anything, but always fun. Does it give you any extra stacks?
Just gives you more health. Main tank Nazebo, baby.
Oh, I guess it does. Oh, Okay, so Nazeebo's not going anywhere anytime soon. This will be another bruiser camp picked up from Velocity to match ReGen here in the mid lane. They're still half a level away from 20. And have started to fall behind in these fights recently. ReGen, they did lose their Diablo in that last engagement, but that's been the only hero that's died in, I want to say, like the last 7 or 8 minutes.
Yeah, I think you're right here. That was that 7th kill. Wow, blue team gets this web weave raise. This will be a big one with the pressure they have bottom and mid. Red team's going to need to put up a defense. They will have level 20s for this next engagement.
ReGen trying to move through the little jungle area here is going to find Leoric stuck out. There is his Wraith Walk. Then Tori's going to be back by the wall and into the good graces of the home base there of Velocity. Here comes the Web Weaver at mid, though, where ReGen's starting to set their focus here.
Yeah, Flamethrower here for Kael'Thas going to be having very safe flame strikes here. As you can see, they're going to be able to poke down. Always looking for those heroes, though, for that extra % health damage.
Already through the wall, Web Weaver still above 50% health here in the mid lane. Porky trying to move forward with the rest of the team, but Chachuggy there playing the Johanna, making sure they can't get in position to be in melee range of this fort. Bottom lane, Nazeebo gonna get the kill on Leoric. Pit Kid is a monster. Now Hyperion at mid. ReGen thinking about getting 2 keeps here during this objective phase. Top lane as well. This is a problem as well.
Nazeebo willing to duel Leoric, but Tracer's looking for it. And Nazeebo has the bunker. The Blaze is there to protect, and Tracer's actually going to have to drop away, being a little bit scared here. The Johanna falls. He's Falling Sword, excuse me, to disengage there.
That's 2 keeps down. This could be 3. Bottom lane is not looking safe right now, especially with this Nazeebo here. Still a fight going on at mid. Centurion might end up going down this time. Will he? Yes, he will. A nice finish there by Kael'Thas. Got a lot of help from Tracer as well. Now they're turning into a kill onto Diablo, and Nazeebo gonna fall. They get all 3 keeps, but they lose 3, and it might be 4 now. Falling Sword, yes they will. A quad kill for Velocity, coming at a great time because their game is looking dire here in this spot. 19.5 in. Will be a boss wide open, likely gonna be their play.
Yeah, it looks like Nintori's going to be back on base to collect these gems, try and push out these waves here for a moment, while the rest of the team looks to see if they can take this boss, though. But Hacho's got to know where Leoric is. Wonder if he's going to just keep the vision or if he's going to look to engage. It would be crazy to engage, but yeah, as he realizes he's going to hearth home.
Yeah, he's got to play defense on this boss. I think he knows it. Easy boss here, maybe the easiest of their lives. No contest for Velocity. They do have to be careful, though, because these lanes are starting to enter the base of Velocity. Catapults in all 3 lanes from ReGen.
Looks like they're going to use this turn to push those out and possibly try and chain 2 turn-ins here.
Oh, really? They have enough gems on hand still to go?
I don't know. I don't know.
No, it looks like they're a little short. Little short, but probably throughout this they'll be able to pick up these.
If they're soaking, which it looks like Leoric's going to be doing, looking like a double soak here, they might be able to turn in another after this.
Oh, they're going to be able to burn through this boss. I mean, you have Raynor and you have this Nazeebo fully stacked up. Does it get a keep? I don't think it does, especially with the Gargantuan that can come down from Nazeebo as well. And there it is, Hyperion going to be paired in with it. And ReGen looking to clear this boss out before it gets through both of these towers. Can they? Maybe they can't. It's going to get through the towers, and Webweaver's almost here as well.
Yeah, Red Team Siege is a little bit light, so they're going to need to make sure that they play a little careful once this boss and Webweaver fall. The Webweaver still has about 50% health. Noah going in, finding the Pulse Bomb and the Boop onto Raynor. Now in Tomb. There goes the APOC to shut down the engage. Falling Sword is out. Looking for the Ana. Oh, but Blaze dodges it. Oh, we are...
Beautifully done by Hot Joe, keeping Leo in range of that fort. The keep is going to not fall. It barely is saved. Catapult's still in range, though. Hot Joe's going to have to push that one out and make sure it doesn't take care of the keep. Bottom lane keep, however, does end up going down. That'll be the first one of the game for Velocity. But with Leoric dead for 40 seconds, we'll see what ReGen's going to be able to do. They do not have enough gems right now, but there is a bruiser camp nearby. Maybe their only consideration here as we're about to cross the 22nd minute of this game.
Wow, both teams about on the same point of gems, 34 gems to 35 gems. Although ReGen has that benefit of having a little bit extra experience and 2 keeps still on the board.
And Tori going to go back to base in that ghost form Leoric. Bottom lane, Siege Camp picked up there by Velocity as ReGen was grabbing their Bruiser Camp for the mid lane. They're going to try to clear out the Velocity Bruiser Camp right now. Leoric is back on the map, but Noah, he's been caught out. Tracer able to use that recall. There's that falling sword. Hellgate comes out as well from Hacho. Still 14 seconds away from his APOC. ReGen going to try to wait this one out and see if they can find a better engagement in just a minute.
Yep, they still have the spell armor, so they're going to look to see if they're going to play around this. Well, maybe they'll just take it this time to opportunity to clear out bottom and turn in their gems. Looks like neither team really looking to turn before they get to the 65 mark.
I wonder if Velocity is going to try to pick off the remaining health on that top lane keep.
Yeah, it would put them in a little bit of a weird spot. Like they could get, you know, sandwiched or they could get base raced. But it is unfortunate that that keep survives. It's such a sliver of health.
Porky hanging out by the top egg spawner, going to find a few heroes accidentally and going to walk right back out. At this point, ReGen really just needs to play it slow, make sure they have enough gems for a turn in, and hope that's enough to end up winning the game off of. Keep these lanes pressured on the opposite end of the map and get what you can get around the map while that's going on. Counting gems, I think they're still just about 5 or 6 away from having enough for the turn-in. Porky's actually going to dump off 24, which is a huge number here. So only another 10 needed for this next turn-in.
Wow, yeah, ReGen looking for that next turn is going to be huge. Oh no, Caesar Salad caught out a little bit. Chuggy trying to keep them safe. Luckily, the terrain is going to be standing in the way of them and the other heroes. But it looks like Velocity here looking for a possible engage. And Nazebo finds that Spiders on the Chuggy, who's going to take quite a bit of tick damage.
There's the Silence and Tomb onto Blaze. He can't drop the bunker yet. Ana trying to keep him alive as long as possible. And Porky will go down. Bunker is still available. It wasn't used. And then Tori now in the back line in a lot of trouble because Raynor just pelting him shot after shot. Both solo laners down. Following the rest of this action, it looks like Johanna's going to fall. Where was Johanna? Okay, that's a lot of gems.
This Nazebo single-handedly staved off Mystically, Caesar Salad, and Noah as just being a threat. They could not support their frontliners.
Valimar in a bit of trouble there. Tracer ends up finding the Ana, and that'll now be a 2 for 2. Tank down and solo lane down for Velocity as ReGen starting to enter the core of Velocity. Maybe thinking about closing this one out, but look how close Leoric is to respawning.
Yeah, this is going to be a pretty tight defense, though. Nazebo has pretty good damage on the core, as does Raynor.
And 3 catapults in the top lane. 33%.
But just barely. Hacho could fall. The Silence and Tomb goes down onto the Raynor. He's taking so much damage. There was Tracer that fell.
All right, it's a 1 for 1, but Diablo's going to fall as well, making a 2 for 1 there in that final exchange. Blaze now back on the map. Nazebo trying to move away, only 1 gem on hand. And ReGen really just needed to wait, find a turn-in maybe, and there would have been enough to finish that one out. Instead, they go for the play on the core and lose a couple gems they had. They can regather. They're pretty close to getting the turn-in, but they don't have it quite yet.
Yeah, and this is an interesting spot because it doesn't look like, to me, Velocity can safely go for the boss with the Nazebo alive, able to get on that core with such low health. This is a pretty scary spot. Although next turn it will probably decide the game here, and ReGen is only 3 away.
Nazebo going to move towards this bottom lane siege camp. Diablo holding vision. Hacho sees them moving forward towards ReGen in this bottom lane. Nazebo trying to finish that as quickly as possible. There's the bunker drop. Diablo trying to hop inside. Can he? Yes, he will.
Oh.
That means the Buried Alive has been used and has been expired. Johanna's still in here. Still has her falling sword. There it comes as a escape again. ReGen playing aggressive and really being able to move Velocity off these engagement points time after time.
Tracer and Raynor now joining the fight here. ReGen has the 10 gems necessary to turn in. They're going to be looking to get that to help them push these waves right back to the core.
This is trouble in this little choke point when there's a Diablo on the other team still holding on to the APOC. Hacho didn't find a good spot there as of yet. They want to try to get this Bruiser camp first and maybe, like you said, find that turn-in.
Oh, man.
But Chuggy wants to get in here. Here's Falling Sword. Hacho ends up going down, though. Beautiful kill from Velocity. Now the Entomb on the backside finds two. Pitkid solo pops in his ice block. I think Nazeebo goes down here. This is Velocity winning game number 1. It's a mega kill. That'll be enough to close it out. Wow, moving in the Bruiser camp, finding the damage, and shutting down that total defensive disengage time after time ReGen had. They finally get through, end up winning 20-15 on kills. Look at Noah go, 7 on the board for Tracer as Velocity takes game number 1.
Wow. That was such a crazy game. I mean, absolutely. The audacity from ReGen to go for that camp in full vision, in full knowledge, and the snap decision making there from Velocity to say, hey, they're not allowed to do this. Let's take them.
Yeah, oh my god. We mentioned Nazeebo reaching level 20 was going to be a big problem, and he truthfully was. I mean, Nazeebo, look at that damage, 132k, led all heroes. The wave clear as well, just absolutely impeccable from Pitkid there in game 1. But when the attack is as frequent as Velocity was able to bring, Johanna getting those cooldown reductions on the Falling Sword at level 20, had it up for that final fight. The Entomb buried alive as well. Such a strong level 20 talent, and having it back up every 60 seconds is just insane. They had the shorter cooldowns on the heroics, and they took the fight in quick succession, and they got the second one, knowing that ReGen didn't quite have anything to get out of it. So well done there in game 1. Here's a look at the talent screen before we go to a very short break. I want to say thank you to all the follows that happened during that game. We had Puchavist, Khalifa, Corp of Achado, Illuser, and LDA PTV. Thank you so much for being here right now. We're going to be back in just a minute with game number 2. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Game number 2 about to begin. We just got our lobby invite. Let me just make sure I have the team who picked this correctly. Looks like I do. And go ahead and show you guys the map ban screen once again. Game 1, Velocity coming back there late on Tomb of the Spider Queen for the Game 1 victory. Map number 2 will be Infernal Shrines, once again chosen by Velocity. Stoic moving into Infernal kind of plays a bit similar to Tomb of the Spider Queen, where you want to bring some wave clear, but what are your thoughts as we go into game number 2?
Yeah, I think that there definitely is a minion monster clear priority in the draft. But what's different here is that this requires some team fighting around that. Like, not only do you have to bring these wave clear heroes, but you have to make sure those heroes can survive in these team fights. They got a lot of value, ReGen did, off the Nazeebo that early game, just like would clear a wave and got stacked and did so much damage after getting stacked there. But I don't know if a Nazeebo would do quite as well here, because of, like, you know, it's not going to bring that. That's not going to translate in the same way into a shrine fight.
Right. Yeah, we talked about the Nazeebo maybe making a bit more sense than we even realized. Having that Ana, the nano boost all throughout the game is just a insane amount of damage, especially at level 20 when that viral infection is completed. But it wasn't enough. And, you know, it really looked like ReGen had a chance to win that one. Maybe throwing it away late game when they went for that core call, got it down to 33%. They never did get that final turn in, but maybe that would have been the difference maker there on Tomb.
Yeah, I think that final turn really was the story. It would have been very hard. I mean, honestly, I don't think Velocity didn't draft a comp that was really good at clearing web weavers. They drafted a comp that's really good at killing ReGen. Ultimately, ReGen gave him that last fight where Velocity was able to turn it. I think that, like, the story for me is that at the end of that match, that Bruiser camp was not even capped. It ended unclaimed. Which is funny and ironic that, like, that's what ReGen thought was going to help them, but ultimately that was their downfall.
Yeah. The throw pit. Not typically a Bruiser camp being the throw pit. Usually it's the boss, but that time, yeah, it certainly was. Looks like everyone's here in the lobby. Let's see if they're ready. Porky says he's ready. I'll say I'm ready. And
yeah,
just wait on Nintori to launch this.
Talent shout-out is Mysticles took that Energy Royal at level 4 on the Kale Foss, which lowers the cooldown of that Gravity Lapse when it hits a heroic target. Saw a lot of value out of that. A lot of really snap stuns coming out of that Kale Foss, stopping Diablo engages. I was very impressed with that high-level, quick Kale Foss play.
Yeah, the Kale Foss really the one hero they drafted that could help with the wave clear, and it did enough, right? Leoric was there too, got a lot of siege damage, but it was really that Kale Foss and the 4-man keeping them together. Here we go, game number 2 draft about to begin. Infernal Shrines. First up, once again, will be ReGen on the left-hand side of your screen.
I don't know if I think that Noah's Tracer is something that is talked about and was done exceptionally well there. I mean, you can ban the Tracer, which is a great tool that Noah used to, you know, surgical effect in game number 1, but you can't really ban game knowledge here. So I wonder if a Tracer ban comes out, or if they try to say, you know what, they're going to stick to their guns and say no Diva.
Oh, my in-game overlay was on there. That was bizarre, but I took care of that. There we go. Diva banned out again to start off this game number 2, and Junkrat again. So mimicking the bans from game 1.
They got a script and they're sticking to it. Both these heroes, though, still good on this Infernal Shrines. Diva can double soak, which is always a threat on any map with an objective, or any map ever, really. Most maps, I guess. Junkrat just is strong in a controlled fighting area where you're looking to fight over a point. Chromie the same.
I do want to say a quick thank you to Linehouse, party of 29 coming over with the raid. Welcome to the NGS Storm Division game of the week here between ReGen and Velocity. You're just in time for game number 2 after Velocity took a nail biter at the end of Tomb of the Spider Queen. They're up 1-0 heading into this draft, and so far the band's looking pretty familiar.
And the final.
Ana? It's Maiev. So that means the Ana's going to be open for the second game in a row.
So we saw that Velocity was willing to draft to counter that Ana. I mean, that Johanna Falling Sword into Heaven's Fury with the Silence and Tomb. I mean, Ana's just... The grandma's excellent, but she can't do that. We saw her throughput. So ReGen, like, was able to play the Ana well, even into a comp that was created to blow her up. I wonder if they take it again. No.
They're going with the Johanna this time.
So they're leaving it up. Does Caesar Salad lock Ana here? I mean, into the Johanna that could go Falling Sword, maybe.
You know what? I'm thinking ReGen wants to maybe get back onto their Brightwing. We saw it last week, working really well for them. Maybe thinking Ana's not their answer to success. Leave her open and maybe try to counter draft the Ana. You see them grabbing that Johanna. But it's Medivh and Stukov this time.
Okay, style points. It still could be Ana here. Now that they have the Johanna, but I guess Medivh can portal in the back to threaten an Ana. So maybe that's not the pick anymore.
Well,
Yeah, Noah here, out flexing his chops.
yeah, I mean, he's got the style points. Game 1, Tracer. Game 2, Medivh. He's getting to have all the fun here tonight for Velocity. There's going to be a Gul'dan for Centurion, and Valimar not going to play the Brightwing. It's going to be Malfurion this time.
Interesting picks here. Early double support. We'll see what kind of damage they're looking to follow up here. From Velocity's sake.
Lupus in chat dropping the spam for Mysticles. Spam these bees for Mysticles. That's creative. I like it. Definitely going to be banned out. The final one here from Velocity.
Interesting. I imagine this is a tank ban.
Diablo, you're right. Well, I didn't see the Deathwing ban coming. We haven't talked about him all night, not even in the pregame show, but he is a hero. Can be a bit of trouble. I don't know. Maybe what could they be thinking to draft that they wouldn't want the Deathwing?
Yeah, I'm actually interested. Like, has Porky showed Deathwing this season?
Not a lot.
So maybe it's something that Justin plays, and that's Porky hasn't played Deathwing this season.
I have seen him play it in the past, but not really much this season. There's going to be a Garrosh and a Vala for Jachuggy and Mysticles. Final 2 picks now for ReGen. Need their offlane. Need maybe something like that Rainer again, who's still available.
Yeah, they're going to look at... I imagine they want something that's going to be able to outrange this Vala, or just jump on her and kill her with Zeratul.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, that's going to be a way to help take care of that Vala. If Zeratul can find her, that might not be too easy for Mysticles to survive through. Porky can get that Yarel, who is a top tier offlaner, and Dahaka going to get some global here for Nintori.
This is an interesting... Stukov is a sustained healer. Gul'dan is sustained damage. Zeratul very much looking to burst someone down. But Medivh can kind of counter that with the protection here. I wonder if they're going to be able to, with a strong, counter engage tank, if Vala's going to be able to just to run wild and out damage what this Malfurion can heal.
Let's see here. Results from game 1. You guys picked ReGen 67% to win it, but it's time to ask you for game number 2, who will win game 2? Will it be ReGen or Velocity? Head on over to chat right now. Up at the top of your screen, select the team you want to win and hit submit. Stoic, you're 1 for 1 tonight. You did pick Velocity in game 1. But what's your opinion here in game number 2?
I think we're going to have a reverse sweep. I think we give this to Velocity. I think they have some strong tools here, and there's an intentionality to their draft that I like. And I think that a lot here falls to Justin. Can he find these kills in this early game?
Well, let's introduce some players here on the left-hand side. In the blue tonight, we got Centurion on the Gul'dan. There's Valimar on Malfurion. Hotcho playing the Johanna. Pitkid, a.k.a. Justin, on the Zeratul. And the captain, TT Porky, playing Yarel. Give it up for ReGen.
And in the red team, up one map, we have Nintori playing Dahaka. Caesar Salad playing Stukov. Mysticles on Vala. Jachuggy playing Garrosh. And Noah on Medivh. It is
Medivh! I don't know if Psychic's out there, but that was what we always said every time there's a Medivh. Great flip already, and the silence is down, and so is TT Porky. First blood coming at the 16-second mark. A very quick kill for Velocity here in game number 2.
That's something that I've seen Team Alexander do time and time again. It was executed so perfectly.
Centurion having to use a medallion there. Garrosh walking in his face. I don't know if you saw that. But you're right, alluding to Team Alexander, those early team fights, it really looked like a play out of their book. Good portal usage, but not finding Centurion waiting. He's safe in that bottom lane and now back behind the wall with Medivh in the air scouting everything out. This is going to be a theme here in game 2. And look at Garrosh just holding that bush. Who's going to walk by? Hotcho thinking about it. He takes the safe moves around.
Yeah, Hotcho's scared. And it's a good point. Hotcho, we're going to rely on that use of the unstoppable trait, but a Garrosh throw on top of a Stukov silence means that Johanna can't use that unstoppable.
Yeah, Stukov's so good against Johanna simply because Johanna's not be able to hit that D button when she wants to because of the lurking arm. It's a great tech pick up against that tank. I think a very smart selection for Velocity here, grabbing that Stukov in game 2.
Garrosh going for a couple of stacks here in this middle, just looking to kind of 2v1. Meanwhile, the rest of the teams are looking to defend this bottom camp that's been picked up by ReGen.
Yeah, Nentori doing a great job staying safe and soaking as Dahaka. Early game, really important to make sure you're just staying alive, stacking up some essence, because you're not really a hero until level 4. I mean, this level 1 Talon Enduring Swarm is nice, but it's not going to do you too much if you get in any sort of trouble. And here, speaking of it, is level 4 for both of our teams.
We're seeing some very flexible laning here as Zeratul now matching up with Dahaka on the top. Yrel kind of doing some kind of double soak as well. But she'll go back to the mid.
Medivh going to try to scout out some heroes. We'll see a couple. Going to miss that Arcane Rift out onto Zeratul, who is still mounted, heading back towards his top lane. Dahaka and Vala going to get to work on the Bruiser camp here on the right-hand side of the map for Velocity. Now incoming is Stukov as well, trying to make sure Dahaka does not have to use that essence yet. Wants to let Nentori save that for this first objective that's about to spawn about 15 seconds away. It'll be mid lane, and it will be a Frozen Punisher to start off the game.
Interesting talent pickup from Vala here at level 4, the Puncturing Arrow. Not opting for basic attacks, nor the often picked up multi-shot, but with the single target spell damage.
Medivh at 12 stacks. That's Noah playing the skill-based hero yet again here, just as he did in game number 1 on the Tracer. Looking pretty good so far, using those portals. Now actually using one, dropping it onto the back line, trying to find Centurion, but Roots thrown out by Valimar, going to keep that engagement at bay. Now Jachuggy tossing Porky right back out as he's trying to leap in. ReGen trying to regain control of this shrine, but it's looking pretty good for Velocity so far.
Yeah, they have a slight lead here. Both these teams taking a moment to reset. Zeratul actually going to catch the top wave. Looking to get that level 7 advantage. Porky thrown in. Silence for a moment here. Able to walk away. Lots of unstops popping here for both Porky and Hacho. Although Noah comes with a flank. Finds some more damage on the Porky. Porky dropping quite low. Able to jump off the wall and escape.
Had to hop over the wall that time. Porky was looking like he might have fallen there. But still just the 1 kill in the game for Velocity. But they are just 4 skeletal defenders away from grabbing this first objective of the game, and ReGen wants to fight now before that happens, but it's going to be Porky falling. Second death of the game for Yrel, as Velocity does secure this Frozen Punisher for the mid lane.
2 kills currently ahead is Velocity, and you know what? Every time this Zeratul goes in to get some damage, Noah is instantly using that protected, by the way. It's perfect counter to that Zeratul damage.
Punisher baited over the wall, but look, it already got the job done with those Frozen Punisher orbs that he throws out. Locks down the entire wall, and now it's Johanna having to use her self-cleanse, but not enough to survive. Centurion's going to fall as well. Great portal usage that time by Noah. A double kill for Velocity, who have all 4 kills so far here in game number 2.
Wow, Velocity is absolutely controlling this early game. Up an entire level, up a building. Frozen Punisher still with 30% health is now going to make its way to the keep wall, while Red Team gets to do whatever else they want. Elsewhere, Mystically's going to fall.
And the spray drops the team nut. Oh my god, Zeratul. That's why you draft the Zera up against the Vala. Beautifully done by Pitkid.
Sure, I guess a moment of being split there. Medivh not protecting the squishiest hero in the game.
What do you say? Ready to have a little fun?
Less health than Murphy.
Alright, so ReGen really just has to hang around and probably wait for a bit until level 10s that they take their next fight. If Zeratul's able to find a Vala stuck out like that, okay, maybe go for it. But other than that, really no reason to do much of fighting until they have this combo ready to go. We're expecting the Void Prison. Might end up be that Falling Sword like we saw in game number 1, the combo in with the VP, but we don't know yet. We'll find out as this one keeps moving along.
Camp again being taken in the bottom lane by ReGen. 10's coming online for ReGen as well. They're going to see if they're going to look for something. Although Zeratul is rotating back now down, as is Yrel. There's a possibility for an engage. Nope, Yrel's going back up.
It will be the blessed shield for Johanna, who might be able to find a target if they kept moving towards that bottom area, but they don't end up going for it. Instead, want to keep up in this rotation, along with what Velocity is able to do here with this Dahaka right now. Medivh also helping him out, escorting Nintori around this map. And Porky just doing what he can in the top lane, grabbing the XP and moving that lane forward. But this is Velocity with a nice wave clear lead, honestly, Stoic. They've been up almost the entire game.
Yeah, you're right. Medivh now 35 stacks, almost completed here, 82.5% of the way done with their level, or their baseline quest, giving them that extra damage and that cooldown reduction.
Did you just percentage that really quick? Are you a
yeah.
calculator?
No, I just 75. No, I'm not.
Nicely done. All right. Well, hey. This seems like a long phase before the next objective, which I think is really playing into the benefit of ReGen. They're able to regroup and regather. Now actually starting to get as many camps as they can. They got a Bruiser camp up top, but you can see Nintori dragging that Shaman into tower range, going to take care of it. Now ReGen's going to have to send someone up to this top lane to handle the Shaman moving in the other direction. It looked like it might have been Porky, but instead they want this fight around mid. Here comes Zeratul. Horrify going to land onto Medivh. He has completed that Arcane Rift, and there you do see a beautiful shutdown coming out with the Leyline Seal. Nicely done by Noah yet again, but the VP's there on the end of the portal. Two heroes stuck inside right now, but ReGen not looking to fight any further. Instead, they're just looking to disengage.
Quite a few ults used here from both sides. And no kills found.
Top lane. This is still going. No one took care of this. The Shaman did finally go down, but it gets through the wall in those towers. And we have our next objective going. And a big head start here from Velocity, already moving up towards 20 skeletal defenders. I think ReGen just full-on forfeits this one.
Yeah, without that level and now down so many. I think you're right as well here. Also, it's hard to engage into a Medivh on a shrine like this, able to get those resets on his Q so easily to help clear and do so much damage.
Yeah.
Dahaka here is split off to go catch Soak. They're gonna... Looks like they're gonna side Soak this as well.
ReGen just wants to play defense. This is going to be the second defense we're going to see out of them. Johanna's going to try to bait this over the wall. Need to be careful as Zeratul's moving past Garrosh. Will be caught. But, hey, poor Howl. It's the only thing that hit. Pit Kid's going to survive. Still 20 seconds away from that next VP. ReGen just got to play clear here. Not really able to look for a fight as of yet. There's the Leyline Seal, only hitting one target. It's the Gul'dan as Noah's being chased down. Condemn, keeping Medivh steady. There's the Horrify, and Noah will fall. ReGen's still alive, but Pit Kid ends up going down at the last moment. Ardent Defender from Yrel now, keeping herself up as Johanna trying to move away with Iron Skin, getting a few heals from Alfurion. There's the toss over the shoulder from Garrosh onto the Dahaka. But ReGen, the rest of them, gonna survive that time, Stoic.
Oh, yeah, Johanna dodges the tongue and the toss. And the Groundbreaker, makes it out with just barely a little bit of health here. 1 for 1, but the fort does fall here. Velocity finds another advantage on the map, now up 6 structures to 4.
Yeah, and a current 1.5 level lead, technically 2 if you count 15 to 13. And that's usually enough to start getting scary. Oh, speaking of scary, Porky gonna be caught out here. No Ardent Defender this time. Does have a fort there. Pops his medallion, trying to move away, but Garrosh has got him in his grasp. Porky is down now for the 3rd time in the game. Velocity sending it to the captain of RG here in game number 2.
Yeah, meanwhile, Dahaka over here just grabbing camps as they are looking to push down this top fort. The wave is showing up. Johanna tossed in. She pops her unstoppable. That's going to go down, though. She's going to be vulnerable for the next 20 seconds here.
I don't know if ReGen really wants to fight without the Yrel, and especially in just a moment when Velocity is going to hit level 16. This is going to be very tough for them to come back at this point. We'll see if they're able to split Soak safely with their forts down. It's getting a little bit harder. They only have the protection here in this top lane where they're trying to stay defensive as possible. Once again, Johanna thrown over the shoulder at Garrosh. Does get the cleanse, but Hotcho's going to go down. Nice Leyline Seal again to prevent any sort of damage or Horrify from Gul'dan. Does end up getting that Horrify off. Maybe they have Noah stuck. Those roots were down for so long. No, Medivh's going to be safe. Another nice save from Chuggy.
These portal usage is so scary as well. You can see that both Malfurion and Gul'dan instantly dropping their heroics there to save, but now the heroics are down. Red team has the wave again and the pressure onto this fort.
And Chuggy moving all the way in, trying to find a stun, but Centurion able to sidestep out of that one on the mount. Makes it behind the wall. They will end up losing this top fort. Probably going to lose this fountain as well. And Dahaka just stole away a siege camp for this mid lane. Velocity putting on the pressure in multiple lanes right now.
Yeah, man, Velocity is just, they're controlling the map so hard. ReGen knows where they are, but they can't do anything about it without this level 16. And because they have to spend heroes in other lanes to catch up this soak. And to push off these camps.
Here comes the portal again. Porky may be caught out, thinking about which way to juke, left or right. He doesn't quite know yet, but he does have the Ardent Defender this time. Gonna try to leap in, can't quite hit the Stukov. And Velocity is gonna be able to get out of here. Ooh, a Leyline Seal again, just to make sure nothing's gonna happen. Here comes the Haka as well, brush stalks in. But ReGen gonna hold on to their heroics, just 5 seconds away on that Twilight Dream, the last one waiting to respawn. The only heroic used there in that fight, of course, that Leyline Seal from Medivh. So if ReGen's looking for a fight, they have about 60 seconds to make it happen.
Yeah, you know, Medivh teched into that basic attacks reduce the cooldown of his heroic abilities, so Medivh can just farm heroic cooldown just by attacking waves or attacking heroes.
Objective number 3 about to get going. There's Johanna moving forward, does use the Iron Skin. So won't have it for another little bit in this fight, and Tori's going to try to play frontline on the Dahaka. Here comes Zeratul, warping in, warping out. And ReGen just going to continue to play patient, and Tori down to about 60% health. Moves in, pops that Essence Leyline Seal back online, hits 3 targets. And there's the Horrify. They maybe have the Garrosh split out. Chuggy low now in the roots, pops his Indomitable. Zeratul's going to fall on the bottom side of this fight as I follow the Garrosh dying. A 1-for-1 exchange as this fight continues. Portal drop. Here comes Noah in deep, trying to get the damage out along with that isolation onto Valimar. Malfurion scooting away, drops those roots, trying to keep himself alive. Hacho's low as well. I don't think ReGen gets out. All 3 of these heroes look like they might fall. There goes 1. Will it be 2? Yes, it will. Valimar's 3, just TT Porky left standing, but he's going to mount up and try to scoot away. My God, Velocity is on fire here in game number 2, now up 11-3 in kills.
Looks like they're going to leave Dahaka to work on Shrine Clear while the rest of them push this top keep with a camp and a Kata. 28 seconds till Malfurion is back, 20 till Gul'dan. They could even threaten core here if they find a pick.
Portal trying to get Medivh out, and he will. Keep falls. Beautifully done by Velocity, and they're about to get this mid lane objective again. It'll be Arcane this time. Only 5 more needed, and they are easily going to be able to grab that. Going to hold it as long as they can. Actually going to start working on this siege camp nearby. Level 20 Talons just around the corner as well, as they still have this 2-level lead. Might even be 3, but how does ReGen come back in this? I don't know if they can.
Yeah, this is going to be... they're going to have to get... I think they're going to have to get lucky. Right now, Velocity has the map control. They have the vision advantage. They have the waves pushed up. They have an objective going over. They're about to have heroic, or the Storm talent tier advantage as well. There it is.
Medivh's going to move him over the wall and into this mid lane. Arcane Punisher. Top lane's already got that keep down. They're looking to make it 2 here. Leyline Seal to start off the fight. The leap's going to come out onto the Gul'dan, and the silence as well from the isolation. Centurion pops his self-cleanse. Medallion usage keeping him alive. Now going to drain some life away from that Punisher, and Centurion makes it out with his life still intact.
Wow, look at all these mercs as well. They just need to protect those, keep those alive, and this Punisher and these mercs will shred this core here. No 20s online yet. Blue team need to back up. Porky, though, jumps in. Stukov flailing swipe to keep the distance there. Nintori going for the core already.
Core shielding is down now to 95%. There's the Horrify onto multiple targets. Dahaka, the one who might have been in trouble, gets that portal help out. Oh, great condemn, gonna get the Garrosh. Now Dahaka without Essence needs to be careful. Here's the leap in from Porky, but the Leyline Seal yet again gonna slow it down. They do get through the Dahaka. Now trying to get some more kills, end up losing their Zeratul though. So not looking good for ReGen. Valimar in trouble, 250 health. Gets the finish onto Vala. And ReGen might actually have the defense here. They just need to keep Medivh in the same place. And Noah does go down. Flailing swipe, the last one there from Stukov. ReGen might be able to make this all 5 if they can catch Caesar Salad. And they do.
Wow. Excellent Stukov play, keeping himself alive here. But is this just a staggered death? And it will be. Stukov 15 seconds later than the rest of his team.
2 keeps down. Still no forts down on the side of Velocity. No bosses or anything cool able to be taken here during this advantage for ReGen. They're just going to steal away a Bruiser Camp. And is that even enough to get through this top fort? I think it just walks right past the top fort, so the answer to that's no. Do they get
I wonder if they're going to try and make a play for the keep wall here, or no, they'll just use that to soak up tower shots maybe as they get to work on this top fort.
This just walks right past the fort, though, doesn't it?
Yeah, you're
they
right.
got one
So
doggy. Oh, they did get a couple doggies, but the shaman keeps going. Okay, well, they get a fort. Look at that.
Yeah. Stu got back in 15 seconds here. Core at 45% with the shielding on top.
Oh, this is actually smart from ReGen. They see where the next objective is going to be. Mortar Punisher top lane. That's maybe their win condition. If they're able to somehow get that, might be enough to walk out of Infernal Shrines with a come from behind win of their own. Tied up on
That's true.
XP now at 21.
Yeah, that come from behind mechanic put them in right back in this. They're going to have to play a lot of babysitting over their waves and keep always an eye on the core here. But next objective could end the game for them if things go right. You're right.
They do grab a siege camp here mid lane. They are hanging on to their bruiser camp as long as they can. And that's going to be a siege camp also grabbed for Velocity to match this mid lane. Medivh's been the one leading off these fights. The Leyline Seals have been on the money from Noah.
Nintori getting engaged on a little bit on the top. Gonna escape. Able to use both that protection and that portal.
Do we see a fight over this bruiser camp? We might. I don't know if Velocity can get here in time, though.
I don't think Velocity needs to pressure that, right? They already have Cata pressure top. I think that engaging there is asking for trouble.
All right, well, ReGen is able to grab it. A little bit of vision scouting right now by Medivh. There's the portal drop, maybe trying to get their focus onto Zeratul. Big Blessed Shield, multiple targets, along with that huge Horrify from Gul'dan. Can they finish off Mysticles? Yes, they will. Vala is down. ReGen still looking for more, but the Leyline Seal, once again, slowing it all down for RG.
Wow, excellent engage there from coming out of Johanna. Oh, and now Noah here trapped, but able to get out with that use of the portal and the Gladiator's Medallion there. ReGen looking to go up and start to work on this shrine, but I mean, it looks like this could be a possible little bit of a core situation. Chuggy gonna look to maybe find Jarrell here. Oh, Nintori though with the flank gets the drag. Oh, and the throw, the toss.
There's the Ardent Defender. Porky's still alive. The isolation went out just after, and now look at this VP. Multiple targets. They do find the Medivh, but he cleanses himself, pops the Leyline Seal, and he just stopped everyone in that fight, didn't he?
Yeah, Chuggy, they're taking a ton of damage here. Finds the stun and the big shield coming out of that talent there. Oh, able to escape through the portals. Porky chasing deep. Noah gonna drop to protect. Chuggy finds another clutch stun, but Justin is so deep in there. Finds that finish on Medivh. Blessed Shield, though, comes out and does not connect.
So ReGen has options here. Do they siege or do they go for the objective? Looks like they want this objective. Vala is back on the map, and Medivh's going to be dead for 50 seconds. This is their path to victory. They need something. They haven't won any objectives yet this game. Is this going to be their first one? Not yet. Dahaka trying to slow it down. There's Nintori going in the pit by himself, as it looks like Velocity might be thinking about moving past this and towards the core of ReGen.
Yeah, Chuggy and Mystically engaging a little bit on a Porky there. Porky going to be able to jump away to safety. Oh, Nintori misses the drag there on to Justin. Good cleanse coming out of Malfurion. Excellent use of that level 7 there. Nature's Cure.
Catapults and Shaman Camp on this keep going to help soften the path to the core for ReGen. maybe not a smart move allowing that to happen because, I mean, this is 100% regens. 39 make it 40. Mortar
man.
Punisher top lane. Is this enough for RG to close it out? Bottom lane, there's a catapult on this bottom lane keep. But this is it. All or nothing right now for RG.
That's irrelevant. I think that there was a thought maybe that this could be a base race. It's not going to happen to Centurion. He's going to push forward here. They need to put as much damage onto this Punisher before it gets to this keep here. 85% health and still quite healthy. Going to be able to jump once and around right to the core. We're going to need some excellent dragging here. Excellent job by Garrosh distracting it. Can they get it stopped on this mid keep is the real play. How much damage can this mid keep do to this Punisher here? The Punisher's sight set on core. It's down to 55% health left.
ReGen sending all their heroes towards this core. They know they have to close it out right now with the help of this Punisher. Porky in that silence going to be just fine, moving out of it now. And Tori to about 30% health. Great heroic from Vala, going to finish off the Zeratul, but 34% on this score. Punisher still alive. Porky trying to get the rest of the damage out, 10%. Can the Punisher finish it? 8%, 6%. No! ReGen wipes on the core, 6% still standing. And once again, the late game mega kill from Velocity going to be enough to get them a map victory. Holy smokes. 2 games in a row, Velocity finding it, man.
Wow. That's absolutely incredible. I mean, ReGen, like, see, those flailing swipes there, so well timed to continually push the heroes away. Wow, and the excellent job from Velocity as well, baiting that Punisher towards that healthy mid keep to distract and keep that core healthy. Wow.
6%.
I predicted a base race, but I would not have guessed that was how one of these games was going to go.
All right, let's take a look at the match summary. Oh my goodness. I don't like the summary is really just that final sequence. ReGen going for it. They had their path, they had their win condition, but 6% away. If they were able to get just a little bit more out of a couple of their heroes or even that Punisher, would have been enough, but didn't quite happen. Stoic, any final thoughts there on map number 2?
Man, I love watching Storm Division because there's so many smart, small things that are happening here. Yeah, I think Velocity, they came out to play. I think that they had. I think this was, and this is of course I'm just 5-heading here, big braining. But this is a comp that they planned and it worked out really well. They got exactly what they needed to. I mean, they were able to. Garrosh's struggles of the late game were kind of overcome by having another strong bruiser as well as having the protection from Medivh, giving them other ways to engage with that leyline seal. It was excellent match there.
My MVP has got to be Medivh. Noah played outstanding. Leyline seals, almost every fight had some sort of utility, either engaging or allowing the disengage to happen. Portals were on the money. I mean, this is the type of hero, when drafted by the right player, that is just so annoying to have to deal with. GG's to both teams, but it is Velocity now up 2-0 in the set. We're going to take another very short break as we get ready for game number 3. A big thank you to all of you who are here right now. Thank you for the follow. Sorry, 3232. And we'll see you guys back in a couple minutes with game number 3. And welcome back in. Game number 2, just as exciting as that game number 1. My goodness, Velocity getting the kills when it matters most at the end of both of those. Stoic, what do you think about that close there on Infernal Shrines?
Man, that was, I mean, excellent. ReGen had a clear win condition that they'd carved out for themselves. They had prepared it, minutes in advance. But it was good, quick thinking from the red team to say, we can get the damage on the Punisher early. We can drag the Punisher over. We can make sure that the Keep and the Core can shoot at it to get this damage ticked down. And it was good team play to have the patience to say, Stugov swipes and then the Medivh freezes and then the Garrosh stuns and the taunt. It was well coordinated. I would love to hear the red team's comms during that.
Well, it looks like we will have Justin subbing out. Unaverted has rejoined his roster here with ReGen for the remainder of this evening. As we head on into Volskaya Foundry for map number 3. Once again, the pick from Velocity bans tonight were Dragonshire and Brax's holdout from ReGen. Velocity banned away Alterac Pass and Battlefield of Eternity before picking 2 of the Spider Queen, Infernal Shrines, and now Volskaya. They're up 2-0 in the set, trying to close it out with the sweep here.
So, yeah, I mean, we'll see. This will be a big upset and also a very big win here for Velocity. They're second of the season, and we'll speak great things to what they can accomplish the rest of this week. My last question for you, Omerta, is Unaverted joking in the lobby?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was a joke.
All right, just making sure it's a joke here.
I'm fairly certain that was a joke. All right, looks like we're ready to go. Game number 3, Volskaya Foundry Draft, about to be underway. We did get our readies from our captains, about to launch on in. Welcome to Volskaya Foundry. There it is.
Okay, the first 2 maps we've seen have a heavy commitment to wave clear, much more important. Volskaya, a little bit less so. And by a little bit, I mean a lot less so. Objective has nothing to do with wave clear. It's all about team fight and sustain in that fight over a point. Sometimes teams will choose to try and, win all at once, or teams will say, you know what, we'll kind of give and take and back off and come back when it's about to be over.
Yeah. The bans on Junkrat and Chromie are going to persist here on Volskaya. These are 2 of the best heroes to have on this map because of the zone control they can provide from the DPS position. There's that quick ban onto Junkrat. I'm expecting the Chromie to follow just behind him.
Interesting, though, no Diva ban here coming out of ReGen. Does this mean they're looking to take Diva, or they're less worried because this map doesn't have that same double soak?
I was right about the Chromie. There's the Diva. You're right about that. Are we 3 for 3? Is that all that is?
I mean, I guess. I'm just curious, why did they switch up their ban order?
I don't know. We also saw bans tonight onto Yarel and Maiev. Those are really the only 2. It's going to be Ana this time, though, who no picks, no bans in game number 2.
Yeah, surprisingly, I think she was a very, she was so crucial to ReGen's almost success in game number 1, but also was kind of a weakness that her, lack of survivability was kind of what the Velocity Draft was looking to exploit. We'll see what direction ReGen wants to take things in. It's an early ETC pick, as Hacho is known to do.
Yeah, I mean, this is the ReGen style. Get Hacho set up on the tank he wants. Usually going to be that ETC. It's going to leave open the Garrosh here for the second game in a row from Velocity. Would not be surprised if that's their choice. Do they pair it in with the Malfurion, which has been such a good combo along with the Garrosh? Might be 2 pretty safe picks here to start off the draft. I'm not quite sure yet. There's the Garrosh. Is this Malf? Yeah, it is. Dude, I'm good. I'm good, right?
You're pretty good here. I think here what could be very powerful is if Malfurion goes into Strangling Roots at 7, and if they pick up something like a Greymane for some burst, I mean, Garrosh finds a target, throws it onto a Malfruit, into a Cursed Bullet with a reduced healing. That's you got yourself a burst comp.
It's going to be Raynor and the Brightwing for Valimar. This is looking very much like drafts we saw last week up against Team Alexander out of ReGen. How does Velocity respond now? Getting, for the first time tonight, I think a real different look from this RG side. On much more comfortable heroes, I'd like to say, for them.
Yeah, I think so too. I think maybe we see that Li Ming. We haven't seen her yet. Centurion now with Unaverted here playing the Raynor. Centurion is open up to play Li Ming, who I think does quite well into these control points. Gazlo banned away, who's so annoying when he gets set up onto a point.
And finally, a map for the Li Ming. I'm glad you mentioned her because we did talk about how she was going to be one of those highlighted DPS role heroes tonight. But playing on Tomb of the Spider Queen and then Infernal Shrines, really probably two of her least successful maps. There's a ban, a respect ban onto Medivh. But they forgot about the Tracer. That Tracer's still out there, and I think still pretty viable here. Maybe has a bit tougher time with the Brightwing on the side of ReGen. But I wouldn't be surprised if Noah's thinking about the Tracer here in game number 3.
I think it's always got to be in his mind, looking for it. But honestly, if Garrosh can be between the target and the Brightwing, oh, the Hanzo, a little more style. Noah's showing some high skill cap heroes all series, and the Chen coming out from Nintori. You'll love to see it.
Yeah, I got the, yeah, okay, respect. I see the Chen coming out from Nintori. That's a fun pick and definitely going to help keep extra bodies on the map post level 10 up against his Brightwing. Who's going to want to polymorph some of these targets when there's 3 pandas. You got to pick one of them.
It's true. It's true. And when Brightwing doesn't have a polymorph, or when she does have a polymorph, does she polymorph the Garrosh or the Chen?
Alex, I think you were calling for Mephisto. You're getting it here in game number 3. Centurion does not want the Li Ming. Instead, it will be the Lord of Sin.
Another absolute monster in these team fights. Gets so much sustained damage in a safe way. Mephisto not as quite high of a pick rate in Storm Division, but still a very impactful hero overall.
Final pick for Mysticles. There's the Li Ming, so it'll be double ranged Hanzo Li Ming here for velocity. Big front line with the Garrosh and Chen. But it is time to head on back to chat and see what you guys are thinking. Game number 2, you picked velocity. Game 1, you picked ReGen. Split decision so far. You guys are 1-1 after 2 games, but here in game 3, who will win game 3? Will it be ReGen or will it be Velocity? Head on over to chat right now. Up at the top of your chat bar, select the team you want to win and hit submit. Stoic, I think you're 1-1 as well. You picked ReGen last game.
No,
you picked Velocity.
I picked Velocity, but here's
you're 2-0.
I'm 2-0, and I think I'm going to give this one also to Velocity. I think the momentum that they've had tonight has been absolutely palpable, and I think that they're gonna take game number 3 as well.
Wow.
I'm going against what I said earlier, saying ReGen would take the series, but I think Velocity's going to close it out right here.
All right, loaded on in. Volskaya found you for game number 3. Time to introduce some of these players here on the left-hand side. Last out of base will be Hot Cho on the ETC. Actually, I lied. Mephisto's still back there being played by Centurion. Over here by the wall, it'll be Unaverted on Raynor, Valimar on Brightwing, and TT Porky, the captain, playing his Leoric. Make some noise. They're known as ReGen.
And on the right side, in the red trunks, up 2 maps, we have Caesar Salad playing Malfurion, Noah on Hanzo, Mr. Cleese playing Li Ming Jachuggy on Garrosh, and the Captain Nintori playing Chen. It is Velocity.
We got a pause. Looks like Centurion may be AFK right now, so ReGen want to make sure they have all their players back before we get going here in game number 3. You just realized that's not just... Okay.
Also to note here, interesting pickup at level 1 from the Raynor, Veteran Marksman.
There's an imposter.
Yes, one of these players is looking pretty sus.
I do not play Among Us, but I still get your jokes. Porky sus, says Hot Show. Okay.
What do you say? Ready to have a little fun?
Level 1 talents. Okay, look, Veteran Marksman? Is that what you just said?
Yes.
What?
Raynor looking for some stacky. Let's go.
Is this real life? Okay.
And this, opting not to go for that wave clear and burn of non-heroes, and not opting for the 10% damage buff, but for the stacking trait damage.
Okay. Well, already 4 stacks. We'll see how Unaverted is going to be able to do here in game number 3. Is he enough to send ReGen to their first map victory of the night? Want to say a quick thank you for the follow coming out from Gublakan. Welcome to the Nexus Gaming Series. Enjoy your stay here as we're looking at our week number 6 game of the week here in the Storm Division.
Raynor instantly going off to get this camp, working on that by himself here. If the red team is going to send 3 heroes, 4 heroes down here. Caesar Salad Mystically is working on the camp while Chuggy and Noah look to intercept here. Without the help of Exterminator, Raynor takes quite a bit of damage taking that camp. Forced to use his tap here at the 1 minute 30 second mark. We'll see if that matters.
And 6 stacks make it 7 on Veteran Marksman. Unaverted, I'll be able to find a few as Chuggy's going to hang out here at mid for a bit. There he goes, making it 8. All right, so maybe he has some sort of idea here on how to handle this garage.
Yeah, it's true. Tied with Hanzo's stacks, also at 8 here. And over time, these long, drawn-out fights, maybe Raynor gets up to that 100 mark where it starts to be the crazy burst damage.
Will it be as crazy stacks as Nazebo had in game number 1? We'll see.
That would, if Raynor has 300 stacks of Veteran Marksman, something's wrong.
Good combo that time from Velocity. Not enough to kill Hot Joe as we're still waiting for first blood here on Volskaya. TT Porky versus Nintori has been the solo lane matchup all night. This is the first time we're getting to see the Leoric out of TT Porky, and the first time we've seen Chen in quite some time here on the Game of the Week. But Nintori, yeah, I like the pick here, and maybe going to be enough to help corral this Leoric a bit as you see the phase shift coming in from Brightwing to keep TT Porky on his feet.
Yeah, definitely, like, Brightwing phase shift is down here before this objective. Does the red team respond instantly and go to rip this support camp knowing that that a big healing cooldown has just been used?
Well, Garrosh just going to stun that ETC during his rotation. Looking back at the stacks, Hanzo already at 10 on Simple Geometry, halfway there. That's 50%. I can do the quick percentage myself. There's the phase shift, keeping Hot Show up. It was still available as the shade comes in from Mephisto, trying to get some spread damage out onto Velocity. ReGen's going to be able to survive through this fight as they try to set up around control point A. Looking decent so far, but Raynor on the front line takes a huge orb to the face.
Yeah. The Oric's going to need to get out there, dropping quite low. Oh, the orb connects as the last scatter arrow also finds the finishing damage onto Leoric there. Early channel looks like it's going to go in favor here of Velocity, though. ETC steps on, Chunky steps off, but back on, but off to throw the ETC.
All right, chat thinking maybe Mephisto belongs in ARAM, not here on Volskaya Foundry. We'll see as this game continues along. First Blood, once again, does belong to Velocity, but TT Porky back on the map as Leoric. Quick respawns, as always, from the Skeleton King.
Ooh, this damage is coming out real strong, and boom, channel will now begin. 50 seconds out for ReGen to get this first protector.
Hot Show has to go back to base for a little bit of extra health as RG is going to start looking for what will be their second turret. Hot Show still holding onto one right now. Valmar and Unaverted in the combo right now. These players have been together so long and making, resuming their play styles together here on this ReGen roster. We'll see if they're able to combo in for a map 3 victory now with this Raynor and this Brightwing. Power slide through onto the Garage, pops Indomitable. There's the roots to help zone out, and Jachucky survives Stoic.
Good healing from Caesar Salad, able to counteract that burst. Who said Malfurion can't deal with that? Nintori, though, steps back on here, taking down lots of Porky's health here as the damage isn't there to follow up. Jachucky looks for a stun on the Raynor, isn't able to find it. Mysticles stepping on, stepping off.
ReGen's going to have control. 80%'s the channel as now Velocity thinking about the support camp. There they go. Does ReGen want to play defense? I don't know if they make it up here in time. Instead, just going to clear out the mid lane. The Oric's all the way down in the bottom lane. Oh, maybe they do check it out. They see it. They're just going to go for some wave clear and maybe try to get level 10s. They are behind right now and going to be in a bit of trouble now with that biotic emitter in the possession of Velocity.
Raynor has used his Adrenaline Rush, so that cooldown is down for the next 30 seconds here. Jachucky looks for another stun, is polymorphed and booped away from that, has the healing camp. They're going to step on here. They have some items to place. It's 2 items to 2. We'll see here if Velocity is allowed to finish this channel of the first objective. Hacho mounted, looking for a possible engage.
I'm fairly certain ReGen doesn't want to fight without heroics here.
Yeah, I mean, also with Mephisto showing top, this is going to be the first protector going over. Porky finds that Spectral Leech right away, but is pushed Getting some damage onto the wall, finding that laser. Looks like the Protector will take this safe rotate. Nope, turn it back around with cooldowns. Ooh, finding big punch.
Yeah, look at the health bars. Unaverted's got to be careful. Barely able to sidestep that orb there from Li Ming. As this Protector's now in the top lane, getting through one of the towers, looking at the second one, and finds that laser beam onto the fountain, and a quick charge in is enough to take care of that.
Yep. Oh, Noah here jumps to safety, is running for the wall, is not going to make it. It looks like Hacho finds it, cuts him off. Noah will fall here. Can they find vengeance for the death of Hanzo? Unaverted is going to take some damage from this Protector. Mephisto, though, melting it down here. Drops low, but Li Ming from the back with the flank. Hacho now dropping low here. Mistocles
dropping low and dropping a turret.
Oh, would you look at that?
Caesar Salad says, thank you, ma'am. May I have another?
Yeah. Now 3 items to 1 here. This top fort is looking a little bit in danger. Mistocles in a position to possibly throw a big old orb from out of vision.
Maybe even just teleport over that wall. Gonna play it safer now. TT Porky showing up. Does have an Entomb available, but I don't know if they have the full combo of what they really want here without the ETC. Waiting on Hot Cho to respawn and get back into this fight. Will be a 1-level lead currently for Velocity as they rotate, trying to find more of these turrets. They already have 2. They still have that biotic emitter as well. And this is a huge item advantage right now for Velocity, looking to invade the enemy camp. They find Mephisto. Here comes the phase shift in from Brightwing. Oh, Dragon's Arrow. Blinking around is Leoric. Drops the Entomb, finds Malfurion. Tranquility's out as well, keeping himself alive. Centurion trying to spread some damage with that shade. And no one has fallen in this fight yet. ReGen able to escape. They do use a turret, and I think they lost a turret too.
Yeah, it looks like they used one and the biotic emitter. They only have 3 turrets left, but while the blue team has no items at all, still I think is an advantage towards Velocity. You know, the Dragon Strike pickup there is an interesting one. I think that they definitely have enough lockdown to get the value out of it, but we did not see it in that fight.
Yeah, I totally called it Dragon's Arrow too. Big oof, but hey, that's fine. You knew what I was talking about.
Totally. It's also so confusing.
Yeah, well, come on, Blizz. Can you be a bit more creative, please? Dragon's Arrow? I mean, it basically is a dragon arrow.
Both teams kind of posturing here. Going to look to probably take their siege camps before this control point B. Hanzo will be pretty slow without having that level 4 talent that does extra damage to minions and monsters.
Well, Centurion's not too much faster here on the Mephisto.
This is true.
Chen's going to be safe in the bottom lane, still holding on to the Panda Pals, better known as Storm, Earth, Fire. And all of our heroics are now back online for all 10 of our heroes. Top lane, control point B's up next. Centurion shades in and takes a lot of health off of his health bar. Here comes CT Porky. Might have a good Entomb position here. Does he? Yes, he does. 3 heroes trapped inside. Waiting on Raynor in that Hyperion. We haven't seen it yet. There it is now as they get the finish onto Hanzo. Here in defense now is Nintori dropping some of those shields, trying to keep the rest of the team up, but no one else is really there to gain that additional benefit. Unaverted, 54 stacks on veteran marksman, starting to get a bit dangerous here.
Yeah, that's definitely creeping up there here. 2 turrets used here for Velocity, and they lost Hanzo at the exact same place where they lost him last time. Unfortunate there before this next objective.
This should be, uh-oh. Missed that one, but it looked like Porky did as well. He falls. Should be able to respawn quickly, but maybe a yikes moment for ReGen as they're going to have to back off the point. They're a full level away from 16 right now. And look at Velocity.
Yeah, oh, finds a stun to Hacho, but it's just to send a message here. First time in the series, I'd say, that they're this late into the game and tied on structures. So this bodes well for ReGen's chance at a comeback in this series.
Oh, they need to find XP, and I think that might mean they have to give up another objective. They are going to try to invade this fortification camp. Chen's going to have it scouted. Here comes Malfurion. Hanzo, Garrosh not too far behind. Velocity wants a fight. They say, okay, you can try to take our camp. We are not going to let you.
Wow, yeah, they give Channel the objective over, and they'll say, you know what, we'll just come back with our 16s, and we'll take it right back.
Hacho making his move up to the top lane as well, finding a few more XP globes, and will contest this point up against Chuggy, slowing it down, allowing ReGen to have enough time to get to their level 16 talent here, as he's going to be safe here in this top lane for just a bit longer.
A little bit of a cooldown trading dance as Porky drops solo. The Brightwing
Oh!
heal is not going to make it in time.
Oh my god. Look at that wave of force. It does 300 plus damage, just what they needed to finish off Leoric there.
Yeah, support camp is now available here. We'll see if they decide to take it. Brightwing preemptively flies in, and they find the pick on a Hanzo once again.
Yeah. Still holding on to that Durance of Hate as well as Mephisto. Not going to be able to use it quite yet. He did shade in. We also saw the Hyperion come out from Raynor. Level 16s for ReGen means they were ready to go, and they made full use of it. Found a big pick there onto Hanzo. Leoric's about to respawn, and now they have a support camp right next to them, wide open. First time in the game, maybe they get an item advantage? They're thinking about it. They're kind of split. Porky's kind of low.
Yeah. Oh, the Raynor taunted and thrown, and the leaming damage is just so much. Excellent use of that mirror ball there.
Well, ReGen thought they were getting a support camp. They didn't. There's the Entomb from Porky. Maybe getting a bit greedy now because they do have this protector. Entomb was good, but there was no damage to come in with it. Polymorph now onto the Chen, who's hopping around, still holding onto his heroic. Should be just fine in this fight. ReGen, with the power play right now, with this objective, they can't really do much with it without the Raynor.
Yeah, also interesting here that they had both of their frontliners in the protector, leaving Valimar and Centurion a little bit exposed, but no one's actually with it. They're missing out on that extra 25% damage while they only have one pilot. Oh, Centurion does jump in. Valimar all alone looking to try and defend this middle fort.
Just the 40 seconds remain as Raynor is back on the field. 60 stacks on Veteran Marksman. Top lane matchup still going to be Leoric versus Chen. And Chen is doing rather well so far up against TT Porky's Leoric. Here's the power glove. Gonna get through one of those towers. Unaverted's got to be careful. Here comes that phase shift in from Valimar. And just 14 seconds remain. Looks like ReGen maybe gets through this other tower, but that's gonna be it.
Yeah, wow, they got this objective, but not able to convert it into structures here. Structure's still overall more healthy for the side of Velocity. Looks like they're bringing down all 5 to possibly push, but Notori says, oh, we can make this 5v5. Good silence from the Brightwing on that Hush level 16. Ooh, Chen in a little bit of trouble here. Polymorph. The Dragon Strike comes out.
Porky tossed over again by Garrosh. Centurion low gets the blink heal. Now the phase shift mosh pit onto a couple of targets. Gonna get any of these finished off. Polymorph, yes they will. Leeming is down. Hot Show's got to be careful now because Hanzo's here. He's got a lot of damage. They do have a wall nearby, and Valmar's gonna escort them back. Good area cleanse as well, coming out, keeping everyone alive in that fight. There's another cleanse. That's the medallion use from Garrosh. And ReGen's still looking to fight Caesar Salad so low, 96 health. He does make it out. The throw over the shoulder onto ETC. Hot Show getting shot by that fort. Polymorph now onto Garrosh. Silence from this Brightwing where they can't get another finish. The rest of Velocity survive as ReGen only find the 1 kill in that entire fight onto the Leeming.
Wow, yeah. You know, through all that, they're down now. Level and a half here, so level 20 is online for the red team. Velocity gonna look to pick up their camp. Oh, but they're gonna find a Chuggy who is anchoring. Dragon Strike goes out, but it's not in range, but it gets the reset.
Oh boy. Yeah, resets will be worth it. Oh, but he's caught, gets the cleanse from Mouth, but the Polymorph, the finish now. ReGen finds the kill onto Hanzo. 6th kill of the game, and they're doing it down their Storm Talent here. Maybe they're able to find their first structures of the game here in this bottom lane.
Yeah, you know what, with that staggered death here, Hanzo Garrosh down for the next 30 seconds or more, ReGen's gonna take their very first structured advantage of the series here. Taking this bottom fort. Wow, actually they just tied just because Chen got the top fort. Never mind.
Yeah,
ReGen looking strong here, coming back in the series.
Chen's been playing daddy in this game up against Leoric. Notori really having his way in this solo lane matchup. Will be the first support camp of the game though for ReGen. You know, maybe this allows them to get another protector down in control point C. They did get control point B, but they had to use it without a lot of heroes nearby. Didn't get the value they were hoping for. So really, objective advantage, you got to say, is in the favor of Velocity right now.
That's true, but this bottom point there's no well for ReGen and no well for Velocity, nor a Nintori dodges the Entomb there.
Porky wants that one back, misses the Buried Alive. Maybe would have been enough to get the Chen down, as now the Garrosh stepping in. Veteran Marksman, so much value. Look how quickly it shreds through a Garrosh. But ReGen still not able to get a kill. They did use that Durance of Hate. The Hyperion came out as well. Still have the Mosh Pit for Hacho. There's the phase shift. Porky low, reducing all the health. There's that Dragon Strike again, and Centurion barely able to sidestep out. Still no kills for ReGen, and just that one for Velocity.
The toss on Malfurion in is enough to get the damage and the CC. Two falling, both front laners down. Chuggy looking for more here. Objective is up. We'll see what they decide to do here. Hanzo again has Dragon Stripe up and available.
Taking a look at some of these level 20 talents, of course, it's going to be Mimic at level 20 for Mephisto. Going to give them a bunch of additional sieging power heading into the late portion of this game if they're able to win any fights. I mean, that's basically a fort killer. Chuggy needs to be careful. Sidestepping out of that Dragon Strike is ReGen. TT Porky back on his feet. Takes a ton of damage from that Scatter Arrow. Now misses another Entomb, and he's going to have to back on out. They do get that Biotic Emitter to be dropped, and Tranquility to be used by Malfurion.
Yeah, red team though, without that key healing item and healing ult, damage here is going to be a lot harder for them to sustain through, as they don't have taps available. Close by, at least.
Chen working on another fortification camp here. TT Porky gonna have it scouted out. Now you do see the benefit of having this Brightwing at level 20. These blink heals can provide some stealth to all these heroes. Right now Leoric just gonna hang in that vent as long as possible. Looking back at the stacks of Unaverted, it is 86 right now for Chen. Excuse me, for Raynor up against this Chen.
ECC invisible on the thing, looking to find a flank here. Mystic Lees blinks away. Dragon Strike comes out and goes down, shredding through some of Valmar's health, but Malfurion falls to the Raynor damage.
Mosh Pit interrupted by Wave of Force. Li Ming keeping that Chen alive. ReGen still looking for more. Grab that silence from Brightwing. Every time she hits those arcane flares, a nice silence comes out. Nintori very low, staggers through a lot of that damage, and now Li Ming gonna turn around, gets one onto EDZ, make it two onto Leoric. Still looking for more as Noah hopping over the wall. Natural agility trying to find another finish, but he can't quite. The double kill for Velocity Gaming, as control point C is still active and in the top lane right now, Stoic. That is some catapult pressure approaching the keep wall of ReGen and getting some value.
Yeah, those two catas are actually going to clear this minion wave, and then they're going to just work on these walls. In the bottom here, both frontliners still gone for ReGen. Nintori, Noah, and Mystic Lee's stepping up, looking to take this channel back. Ults available for Hanzo and Li Ming. Hanzo, they're taking so much damage from that. Oh my gosh, that Raynor burst.
Phase shift gonna keep Unaverted alive. Valimar on the money every time with that ability. 94 stacks now on Veteran Marksman. And it'll be Velocity gaining possession of control point C. They're at full strength right now, and ETC just now respawning. ReGen thinking about grabbing another fortification turret. They do. It'll be in the hands of TT Porky. It's going to have to land a Buried Alive if ReGen has any hope at winning one of these fights. Trying to move in, does get some more invisibility from Brightwing, but being scouted out and quickly popped out of stealth by Mysticles and that Li Ming.
Both of these teams willing to dance around this objective so much, you know, giving channel here and there and stepping off and stepping on. It's almost like they're dancing around this, and it's actually, I haven't seen this before in any level of play.
Porky gonna try to hold the front line. Still has this Entomb. Still thinking about a target he can land it on. Gonna miss the Drain Hope. Now gonna back on out. Dragon Strike hitting onto that Leoric's gonna get some cooldown reduction. It's at 50 seconds right now. And this fight continues. 99% for ReGen on the objective. As they look to fight here in the middle of the lane, Durance of Hate comes out, but Jachuggy, he was unstoppable, and now Nintori pops his heroic Panda Pals are out. Looks like TT Porky might go down. No, gets a bit of a heal there from Brightwing. As this one continues on, Centurion trying to spread some damage with Mephisto. And ReGen going to back onto this point and try to get their next objective. Yes, they will.
Okay, they will. ReGen needs to make a lot of things happen here because top keep is going to fall in the next few moments here. Mid keep is also gone. Or mid fort. Wow.
Dragon Strike again from Hanzo. Looking for that power glove on the Chen. Don't quite have it. Mephisto, this is where that level 20 mimic talent comes into effect in these sieging opportunities late in the game. Dragon Strike once again. Missing targets this time, but doing a great job of zoning out ReGen from moving on to this keep. They need to be careful. They can't afford to lose anyone here as the Protector does get through that keep. ReGen able to get their first set of full catapults in this bottom lane as they now try to get on out of this fight as quick as possible before losing any heroes to Li Ming.
The interrupt on Hanzo's ult there, I think, just saved them. The ult here is dropped, and all the toss and the root is there. It's what they've been looking for all game. They find the quad kill, the mega kill. Velocity here with a WinCon top lane. Looks like they're looking to close this series.
My chin is on the floor. That is 3 games in a row that Velocity ends up winning with a mega kill at the end of the game. They're just going to walk right past mid-keep onto the score. 40-plus seconds. Catapults are here. Make it 3 of them. And Velocity walk away tonight with the 3-0 domination victory over ReGen. GG's thrown out in chat. That will be it for the set. Well done by Velocity.
Wow. You know, Velocity says, hey, ReGen, we heard you like ARAMs. Let's bring it to your house. Wow, excellent play from both of those teams there. That series really was so... While the final score was 3-0 and well-deserved by Velocity, ReGen played 3 great maps. Ultimately, it came down to those last team fights. Every single map was decided by that final team fight.
Yeah, just insane. All 3 of them was a mega kill to close it out. Is that often? I feel like that might be the first time all season that's happened, that all 3 games end with a mega kill, but...
I don't know. What I do know is before this series, ReGen had never actually had a mega kill of their own.
Huh. First domination in Storm Division? No, that's not true. There have been dominations. Maybe the first of the season for Velocity. Is that right?
Yeah, I think their victory over the other Koreans was a 3-1. Or, what are they now? Shoot. I forgot what they're called now.
I think they're called the other Koreans.
Oh, yeah, right. There's so many name changes. I keep getting myself confused.
They used to be called the Team Alexander Fan Club.
That's right. That's what I confused myself with.
Right. All right, well, talent's up on the screen. I'm going to try to break off really quick and see if we can get an interview with the captain from... oh, here's Noah. I guess Noah wants to come. Yeah, let's meet on NGS server. Okay, Noah wants to have a chat. All right, Stoic, I'll meet you there. Little hopping around. There we found you. Noah, how's it going? My God.
It's going well, man. I got to cast Dragon Strike 40 times.
You got to play all the fun heroes tonight. Let's talk about that. Tracer game 1, game 2, a beautiful Medivh, and then, okay, game 3, Dragon Strike Hanzo. Talk about it.
So game 1, the Tracer game was... Game 1 was honestly probably the closest game, like, in reality. We got a little bit behind in the mid game and struggled. They managed to take all 3 of our keeps, partly due to me trolling super hard and dying to a fort twice, just getting shot to death.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, we managed to clutch that one out. Game 2, we were dominating the entire game, and then we just completely whiffed a core attempt. I missed leyline on 2 people, and if we had hit that and then potentially gotten a second ley line as well, it would have been easy to get that last 45%. And then the whole they wipe on our core at 6% never happens. But that didn't happen, so they definitely played a good game as far as capitalizing on that. And then game 3, Dragon Strike was not the pick, by the way. I just as sick as it looked, it
Fat
just
finger?
was not the pick. No, I thought it was the pick, and then it became apparent to me that it wasn't whenever Raynor just walked at us because he wasn't really afraid of getting arrowed.
Yeah.
He had quite a few stacks on the level 1 and just shot us a lot.
Well, interesting stat. I don't know if you recognize it. I sure did. All 3 games you guys closed out with a mega kill. Big moments post level 20. Obviously, the team must be excited about that. But anything in particular that you saw up against these ReGen comps that really gave you the benefit in the late portion of those games?
I don't think that we're necessarily drafting for the level 20 team fight. The biggest thing that I saw as far as how each game went is they would quite often get over aggressive. They would reach a little bit too far when they had already gained some sort of advantage, and then that would be what ended up doing them in. They flew too close to the sun, if you will.
Yeah, I think you're right. Game 1 seemed like they maybe could have gotten a late Webweaver after they had you guys kind of on the ropes a bit. Instead, they tried going for a core there, and I think only got it to like 60% or so. Game 2, of course, you mentioned the 6% core. That was close as well. They maybe could have sent a couple more abilities towards the core and finished it. So it seemed like really both those games were just really close at the end, but they gave you opportunities to get back in and win them.
Yeah, absolutely. The thing about a core like that is nobody realizes how close it is until it's over, right? Maybe a Gul'dan Q went one which way, or a Zeratul Q didn't hit the core whenever it could have, and any amount of little mistakes like that you don't realize in the moment add up to a 6% core. Where I haven't watched the replay yet. Obviously, the game's just ended, but I imagine that there was some sort of misdamage somewhere, or some lack of aggression. Maybe they didn't step in early enough, but that core should have died. By all means, that core should have died. We should be 2-1 in the series right now.
Yep.
But we're not.
3-0 win. Stoic, I know you had a lot of good analysis throughout the night, but any questions right now for Noah?
Yeah, I think you nailed it perfectly. Where ReGen they love fighting, and you guys just kept turning those fights back on their heads. What was there ever like any triggers like in the fight or in the comms? Like you guys just so masterfully turned their aggression on them. Any tips for us at home on how to make that happen in our games?
So, as far as what we were looking for, and something that players who are aspiring to play at this level can look for, it's really, really important to count the enemy's cooldowns. In the game 3 specifically, the enemy has 2 ways of engaging. They have Silence and Tomb, and they have Blink Slide Mosh. Those are their 2 main ways that they can pressure our team. So if we keep track of when those cooldowns are up, we can keep track of when our DPS is allowed to step up, when they have to be back, when our Mosh interrupts have to be split. So, in that level 20 fight that went on so long and that they pushed with their protector, we're calling, he has Bolt Mosh, so our players know that means, okay, I'm Li Ming with Wave of Force, or I'm Garrosh with my Q. I have to stay away from the other person who can interrupt it. I can't stack on top of them ever, because then we both get moshed. Is the communication that happens there. Similarly with Silence and Tomb, we stay pretty spread up and make the opportunities for them to find a 2 or 3 man Silence and Tomb minimal, or as close to 0 as we can.
Yeah, it seemed like that Entomb got 0 value in game number 3. Sidesteps were on the money, we'll say that.
Mm-hmm.
So after tonight, and we know that you guys were not able to yet play your week number 5 match. This will move you now into a tie with ReGen, but you hold the tiebreaker now after beating them. 2 points in the standings, but you have an opportunity later this week. I think you're playing against VGM Gaming.
Right.
And if you win that, you'd actually be moving into the number 4 spot here. in the Storm Division. How does that potentially feel, and are you prepared to play against VGM this weekend?
So I'll start with VGM. We're absolutely prepared to play against them. They have a, we'll say, predictable style. They play a lot of the same composition. They may throw in a quirky hero here or there, but for the most part, they play the same comp every game, every map. But the thing is, they play it well, right? So it's a lot about figuring out where the weaknesses lie in that, and I think our team is ready. As far as how we're sitting in the standings, there have been a couple matches where we've had to play with substitutes, and that has definitely hurt us. But we are looking forward to the playoffs. We believe that once playoffs roll around, it's a completely different game, and we're a notoriously good playoff team. Given that we came into the heroic division playoffs last season,
Slap some teams around.
Yeah, we were the 3rd or 4th seed, didn't have the regular season we wanted, but we came in, we played well under pressure, we showed that we were the best team, and I think we can do that again this season.
Love the confidence. I'm definitely excited to see how the playoffs unfold. Looking forward to actually that matchup this weekend against VGM. I think that's a really good one getting ready to come out. But hey, Noah, appreciate you stopping in for the interview. Of course, before we go, I got to give you time for a shout out.
Yeah, absolutely. Shout out to our 2 newest members of the team, Chuggy and Caesar Salad. They've been playing amazing. Shout out to my whole team, obviously. And then, as always, despite the name change, shout out to twitch.tv/freepx.
I got to say, I love the new name. I think Velocity is a really good name for an esports team. So well done there.
Awesome. Thanks so much.
All right, well, we'll talk to you soon.
Have a good one.
All right, Stoic, let's hop back in on the call and close this one out. Do. Calling Stoic. There he is. Ba-boom. Boop. There you are. Okay. Welcome, Stoic. So, a quick one tonight. Last week, when I had Arrow with me, we went the distance. It was a long night. This one a little bit quicker. How does it feel? You feel okay?
Yeah, I in the pregame show I said that I think ReGen takes it 3-2, but after seeing that game 1 and number 2, I mean, like, Velocity came with something else tonight, and they showed it off. I mean, ReGen had some opportunities, but Velocity ultimately boxed them out. The 3-0 felt good for them, and I love the confidence we just heard in that interview as they go into another upset in what could be another upset in VGM this weekend.
Yeah, that would be a big win for them. Just want to peek at VGM's schedule because they're still yet to play their Week 6 matchup. They're going to be playing against Ceton. That will be Thursday night. Thursday night, 9 p.m. right back here. Actually, I might as well give you guys the full schedule. That'd be really nice of me, wouldn't it? So Storm Division this week will be that Thursday matchup. VGM versus Ceton. Tomorrow night, you're going to have the other Koreans versus Team Exodia, casted by Jinxie Cat right back here at twitch.tv/Nexus Gaming Series. And that Thursday matchup will be casted by Crushinator. Same place, same time, 9 p.m. Eastern, almost every night of the week here for the Storm Division. If you're not already following the channel, I think it is time to hit that follow button. Show your love for NGS. If you enjoyed myself and Stoic this evening, consider throwing some bits out. Maybe a subscription goes towards supporting us directly. We had a fantastic time getting to cast this one, and we will certainly be back next week with another Game of the Week. Hopefully you enjoy our pre-game breakdowns and all the extra production value we try to put into these matchups. Stoic, any other final thoughts before we go? You want to let these guys know where they can find you?
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter, HLS Stoic, or on the NGS Discord, or on Discord in general. If you have things to say, I guess just come at me.
If you guys have any love or recommendation you want to share with us, that's always very much appreciated. If you want to find me, I'm over on Twitter at MurdaRG, here on Twitch, twitch.tv/MurdaRG, where I do a lot of NGS casting and all sorts of fun stuff.
What do you say?
There's a follow coming out from Tremor Plays. Thank you for that late follow, and hope to see you back next time. Again, tomorrow night, 9 p.m., Thursday night, 9 p.m. We're right back here at twitch.tv/Nexus Gaming Series. We love you guys. Hope to see you soon. And that'll be it for tonight. Adios. Here's Diablo Apoc. Leap of Faith again by Anduin Vildanslo, and Majid's gonna be able to finish him off. 3 kills, a triple for BFM. And now Diablo being surrounded. Fade falling to 25% health, Condemn, and Diablo's down. That might be the actual play of the game. They find another kill.
Apocalypse coming out though. Red team. Oh my god! Red team almost got him.
Axon jumping over to get some kills.
Oh, Ragnarok getting the concussion mine, knocking him out into the fray. Oh, the definition of unlucky.